Thank you, Amit. Thank you for that introduction. Welcome back, viewers. We are at MRF, MMSC, FMSA Indian National Motorcycle Racing Championship Round 1 2020. Right now, we are witnessing race number 23 of the weekend, Honda India Talent Cup 2020 One Make Series Open category. The hardware used on this category is the NSF 250R. The front row was introduced by Amit, my colleague there. Following in the second row is Raj from Trichy on bike number 10, followed by Jeffrey from Chennai on competition number 4, and on 6th position is Charan T on competition number 5. Finishing the second row on third row is Mohsin on competition number 6, and competition number 7 Samuel Martin from Bangalore, and competition number 8 Deepak is from Chennai, and on the last row is AS James from Bangalore. There are 10 riders on the grid. The grid is based on the finishing order of race 1, which concluded yesterday. This would be a 6-lap race. That's approximately 22.3 kilometers. This is held at Madras Motor Race Track. The track length is 3.717 kilometers. We are at MRF, MMSC, FMSC Indian National Motorcycle Racing Championship 2020. The race that's beginning now is part of Idemitsu Honda India Talent Cup 2020. It's the Honda One Make Championship NSF 250R Open Category Race 2. While the riders get ready for the formation lap, the final check by the crew there. The crew starting up all the bikes one by one. As we watch there, the technical team starting all the bikes. As mentioned by my colleague Amit Arora, all these are Moto3 spec bikes procured by Honda to develop the young talent in the country. It will not be too long before we see some of these young riders representing India in the international circuits. On your screen is pole setter competition number 2, Sarthak Chauhan. Viewers, the vests that they are wearing are airbag vests for safety purpose. As you see, the vests are connected to the motorcycle. As soon as the rider had a crash or something, and this would detect the crash and the airbags would open up. The riders all set for the formation lap. This would be an interesting race. As mentioned, the hardware used in this race are the NSF 250R Moto3 spec bikes. Waiting for the green 30-second board at the starters box. The formation lap would be started with the green flag. The green flag is waved and the formation lap has just begun. The formation lap has begun. This would be a 6-lap race. As mentioned, the grid order is based on the finishing order of race 1. While the riders are on the formation lap, a quick recap to all the viewers. These are riders selected from all across the country by Honda as part of the Idemitsu Honda India Talent Cup 2020. The riders have been trained here at the very same track by the Honda training team. The riders range from 14 to 18 years of age. The pole setter Sarthak Chauhan from Pune is all of 14 years, followed by Kevin of Chennai with 15 years, and on third position is Varun of Chennai, 17 years of age. This will be a close battle there for the top positions by all the 10 riders. These are the fastest bikes of the race weekend here. The riders moving into the last sector of the formation lap. Again, welcome back all viewers who have joined us. We are at MRF MMSC FMSA Indian National Motorcycle Racing Championship 2020, and this is Idemitsu Honda India Talent Cup 2020 open category NSF 250R open category. On your screen is pole setter Sarthak Chauhan from Pune. The riders are now coming back after the formation lap to take the position on the grid to start the race. A quick check by pole setter to be within the grid. Riders all set. The grid marshal inspecting if the grid is complete to wave the green flag. As you see on screen, the last rider lining up there, and in between the last rider and the medical car is the marshal waving the green flag, indicating the starters board that the grid is ready. The 5 seconds board is on, the lights are on, and the race is on. The race has started. A brilliant start by the pole setter Sarthak Chauhan. Just like yesterday, he has made a brilliant move and taken a lead, followed by competition number 3 Varun on second place. The riders now move on to turn 2, and as we see, the leader is Sarthak Chauhan, followed by Varun on second place. Viewers, bear with me. With the similar bikes, similar leathers, difficult to find the riders, so I would update as and when I get a confirmation. Right now, it's Varun on second place and Sarthak Chauhan on first place, and on third place, the riders have completed sector 1 and moved on to sector 2. That's a brilliant lead by Sarthak. Sarthak is increasing his lead and consolidating his position, and so is Varun on second place. He is also moved away from the bunch and holding on to his position. That's the rest of the bunch at turn 6 and 7. The riders now moving into turn 8 at the back straight. It's Sarthak leading the race, followed by competition number 3 Varun on third, and on third place is competition number 1 Kevin, who also started from the first row. On third place it's Kevin. As we come to the end of second sector, it's Sarthak leading the race, followed by Varun, and on third place is Kevin. There has been a good fight for the 4th, 5th and the 6th position there. As you see on the screen, this fight is for the 4th, 5th and 6th position. The riders now coming to the end of lap 1, and the race leader is Sarthak Chauhan, taking the last corner there. And crossing the start-finish line is Sarthak Chauhan, followed by Varun. And on third place is Kevin from Chennai. And on fourth place is Jeffrey from Chennai. And on fifth place is Raj. And on sixth place is Charan. There's a close battle for the 4th, 5th and the 6th place on your screen as the riders move on to turn 2. This battle is for the 4th, 5th, 6th and the 7th place by the 4 riders. The current leader on your screen is competition number 2 Sarthak Chauhan from Pune, the 14-year-old lad. There is Kevin is closing on to Varun. There is a close battle happening for the 2nd and the 3rd place. Kevin closing on to competition number 3 Varun there as they move on to second sector at turn 4. Is Varun aware of Kevin closing in on him? A brilliant ride by Kevin there. He is trying to close in onto Varun. The battle for 2nd and 3rd place on your screen, viewers. On the lead is Sarthak Chauhan. There Sarthak is having a 2 seconds lead on his nearest competitor Varun, and this battle is for the 2nd and the 3rd place between Varun and Kevin. Kevin closing in onto Varun as they come onto the back straight. On your screen, race leader Sarthak Chauhan, and the battle for the 2nd and 3rd place. Varun defending his place and holding on to his 2nd position. Kevin on 3rd place, still fighting hard to overtake Varun as they move on to the fast left-hander and move into the 3rd sector of the 2nd lap. It's a close battle between Varun and Kevin for the 2nd and the 3rd place. Kevin trying very hard to overtake Varun. He's on the inside and Kevin has made a move. Kevin has moved on to 2nd place and Varun on 3rd place. Varun kept his doors open and Kevin has passed on to from Varun. And it's Kevin now on 2nd place. Kevin is moving away from Varun and increasing his lead. At the end of second lap is Sarthak Chauhan leading, followed by Kevin on second place and Varun on third place. Kevin moving away from Varun. Sarthak with a 3 seconds lead from his nearest rival Kevin, and on third place is Varun. Kevin and Varun separated by 0.6 seconds. We are on third lap of the race. There is a 6 lap race. Sarthak on your screen, the race leader with a comfortable 3 second lead, and on second place is Kevin from Chennai, and on third place is Varun from Chennai. It's a close battle for the 4th, 5th and the 6th, 7th place there by 4 riders between Jeffrey, Raj and Charan. Jeffrey on 4th place leading the second pack there as they move on to the second sector. Jeffrey increasing his lead, followed by Raj on 5th position. On your screen is riders on 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th position. On the lead of this bunch is Jeffrey on 4th place, competition number 4. As they enter into the back straight, it's competition on your screen is the race leader Sarthak Chauhan with a comfortable level lead of 3.2 seconds in this lap. As he comes to the end of sector 2 and enters the sector 3, it's Sarthak Chauhan followed by Kevin on second place, and on third place is Varun. Varun started from third place and had a brilliant start and was on second place when Kevin caught up with him at third lap and has now regained his position at second place. On your screen is a close battle for the 5th and the 6th place. The riders coming to the end of third lap, and it's Sarthak Chauhan crossing the start-finish line. Start-finish line followed by Kevin in second place, and on third place is Varun. We've come to the end of third lap. The 4th lap has begun. At the beginning of the 4th lap, it's Sarthak Chauhan leading, followed by Kevin. And on third place is Varun, and on 4th place is Raj. Jeffrey is moved down a position to 5th place, and Charan on 6th place. There's a close battle for the 4th, 5th and 6th place, whereas the race leaders are separated by close to 2 seconds from each other. That's race leader, that's third place Varun on your screen. Kevin sets up the fastest lap of the race at 1 minute 50.5 seconds. Expect the riders to go below this in the remaining 2 laps. Sarthak Chauhan on your screen, viewers, leading the race comfortably with 2.7 seconds lead, and right on his tail is Kevin. Will Kevin catch up in the remaining 2 laps or 2.5 laps remaining for this race? Kevin on your screen at second place. He is 2.5 seconds behind the leader, and 2 seconds behind him is Varun. Kevin increasing his gap between himself and third place rider Varun. And still leading the race is Sarthak Chauhan comfortably. We are now coming to the end of third sector. We are entering the penultimate lap of this race. That's Sarthak Chauhan crossing the start-finish line, and followed by Kevin. The gap between the leader and second position Sarthak Chauhan and Kevin is reduced to 1.6 seconds. Will Kevin close in this gap in the remaining 2 laps? Time to wait and watch. Kevin increasing his pace to close in onto Sarthak Chauhan. Very close battle for the 4th and 5th place, and same for the 6th and the 7th place. Currently, Sarthak Chauhan leading the race, followed by Kevin, and on third place is Varun. On your screen is fight for the 4th and 5th and 6th and 7th place. On 4th place is Raj, followed by Jeffrey, competition number 4 on 5th place. As the race has moved on to the second sector, we are on the penultimate lap of this race, led by Sarthak Chauhan comfortably. He is 1.5 seconds ahead of his nearest competitor Kevin, but he had a 3 seconds lead in the previous lap, and Kevin has closed in. Will Kevin close in further as we are 1.5 lap remaining in this race. The fastest lap of the race is set by Kevin at 1 minute 50.1 seconds. Kevin closing in on Sarthak. On your screen is race leader Sarthak Chauhan, and Kevin is closing in on him. Kevin sets a consecutive fastest lap of this race. As you see, Kevin is closing in on to Sarthak as we come to the final lap of the race. Is Sarthak aware of Kevin closing in? Kevin is closed in. The gap is further reduced. Kevin closing in on to Sarthak as we move on to the last lap of the race. Will Sarthak hold on to his position? Kevin on number 2 on the screen, closing in on to the race leader. A brilliant ride by Kevin there. He is closing in. He is less than half a second. He is 0.3 seconds from the race leader. Kevin closing in on to Sarthak. Will he make a move here now on the king or on the sector 2? Kevin taking a slipstream from the race leader. Kevin closing in on to Sarthak Chauhan, the race leader. It's going to be a close battle for the 1-2 position in this last lap. As we move on to sector 2, Kevin is right on the tail of Sarthak Chauhan, who had a comfortable lead of 3 seconds in lap 3. Kevin, with his brilliant riding skills, has come closing in to Sarthak. On your screen is the battle for the first and the second place between Sarthak Chauhan and Kevin of Chennai. Competition number 2 and competition number 1. Will Kevin be able to make a move? Kevin is closing in as they come onto the back straight. They are side by side. As they come onto the fast right-hander, Sarthak Chauhan holds on to his position. Kevin on P2. It's a very close battle between P1 and P2. Kevin trying to make a move as they come into the final sector of the last lap. The race leaders are now entering into the final sector of the final lap. Is Sarthak Chauhan still leading, very closely followed by Kevin. Kevin is trying to make an inside move. No, backs out. And as they move on to the bridge complex, is Sarthak Chauhan leading the race, followed by Kevin. The riders are now on the bridge complex. Last lap left, last corner left. It could be anyone's ride. Kevin on second place, Karthik on first. The last corner move has been made. Is it Kevin or Sarthak? It's Sarthak Chauhan followed by Kevin. Kevin just went out of the track and joined back. It was a nail-biting finish. It was a nail-biting finish and excellent ride by this rider on your screen, Kevin Quintal from Chennai. On third place is Varun, finishing third on Varun with 7 seconds gap. A brilliant ride by Kevin Quintal there, who had lost his pace in the first lap and made it up in the consecutive laps. And what a brilliant fight for the last lap. I lost my breath. A brilliant ride by Kevin there. And congratulations to the winner, Sarthak Chauhan there, who held on to his position. Viewers, these riders are setting up the fastest lap there. The fastest lap was again set by Kevin in the last lap, 1 minute 49.4 seconds. There is a rider down. He is safe. He is safe in the last corner. Not sure of the rider. Is it Samuel Martin? He is the only rider who's not taken the checkered flag. That looks like Samuel Martin. He is safe. Quickly, before the riders come onto the pit lane, a quick look at the race finish order. Race winner Sarthak Chauhan with a close fight with Kevin, finishing second. On third place is Varun, and on fourth place is Raj. On fifth place is Jeffrey. Sixth place Charan, and seventh place is Mohsin. Eighth place Deepak, and on ninth place is A.S. James, and on the last is Samuel Martin, who could not finish the race. That's the finishing order of race 2 of Idemitsu Honda Talent Cup NSF 250R Open category. Riders, while the race winners come to the pit lane, a quick update on the upcoming race. The next race would be TVS One Make race for the media. This is a unique race created for our media brothers there, who cover every race, every championship on the motoring world. So this race is for the media people. So the riders in this category are from various media. We will talk about it as we come on to the next race. While we are on it, and that's Kevin on your screen coming into the Park Farme. That's Kevin Quintal from Chennai, who had a brilliant fight Congratulations for your podium finish, Kevin. While we wait for Sarthak Chauhan and Varun. That's Varun on your screen. And his Sarthak, and that's the race winner, Sarthak Chauhan in the center. While I hand over to my mic to my colleague Palni at the pit lane. Over to you, Palni. Congratulations, race winners.
A good race today, started from P1 and got the glory because of a good start. Thank you.
It was a good race. I had a bad start. I was able to catch up at the end, but it was just not enough. I had to run off in the last corner, but so far so good. I hope my timing's so good at least. Thank you, Honda Racing India and Idemitsu, and thank you, Ramji sir, for coaching me and helping me get faster.
It was a good race, but need more improvements in the race and the race starts. Made some mistakes in the corners, so I'll be stronger in the next round. Thank you.